What's up, friends? Thank you so much for tuning back into the podcast. Thank you for your support. The last episode did amazing. I know it was a little different subject matter than I usually do, but I feel like it's something I need to talk about. I had some people reach out to me and like, how could you talk about Trump like that? Do you really think that's true? And do you really think he's just a plant? And I just feel like, why do we only have two choices, right? Why do we have Republican or Democrat? Why do we have two 80-year-old men to choose from? It doesn't make any sense. Because we're given the illusion of choice, that's why. And they want us to think we have a choice when we really don't. It's who they want to be in. It's what's going to happen. I think Trump is the better candidate, and I see a lot of people that were like, fuck Trump, now saying that they're going to vote for him. This is just all... It's all smoke and mirrors, guys. You guys are not seeing it. You guys are not seeing that they know who they're going to put in office. They know what they're going to do. It's all to keep us just distracted. It's all to keep us talking about it. And that's all I really have to say about that. So if you didn't listen to the last episode and you're listening to this one because I mentioned Taylor Swift, then go back and listen to that other episode because it's really, really good. That being said, talking about on this episode. So I've noticed some things in foosball, the NFL, that I don't like. Now, I don't watch foosball. Mama says it's the devil. But I do know about it. I do know a lot about it. I know the rules. I know the game. It's not like I'm one of those guys that, doesn't watch football but doesn't understand it. Like, I know all about the game. I just don't have a team. I don't watch the game. I don't like it. Now, if I have to hand in my man card, which people have told me, hand in your man card because you're not a real man if you don't watch football. Fuck that. I like what I like. I've just never been into it. I've tried to get into it. I'll watch games with like my girlfriend. She watches football games all the time and I'll watch them, but I'm not into it, right? I can't get into it. I'm a baseball guy. Baseball's boring. Well, whatever. Don't watch it then. I like watching baseball. I'm a baseball guy. I'm a Dodger fan. But when it comes to football, I have noticed that it seems pretty like scripted. Like they can legit just, in any sport really, they can legit just put whoever they want in the Super Bowl. They can pay people off, have whoever they want to be in, right? And it seems like that's been going on a lot. Like I've noticed it a lot. And the first time I noticed it was the Super Bowl that was in like February of 2002, right? The 2001 season. And then the Super Bowl was in 2002. It was the New England Patriots. And they won the Super Bowl that year. And, Tom Brady was the quarterback. And this was like all USA, USA. And I noticed that like, okay, right after 9/11 in 2001, then this American team wins. And why would the NFL do that? To get more people to watch, right? Like everybody's going to watch because we got this all-American team in the Super Bowl, USA. So now I could be wrong, but that just kind of sent off red flags for me. I was like, wait, okay, that's a coinky dink. Why is this American team, red, white, and blue, and the Patriots, why are they in the Super Bowl right after this terrorist attack and where everybody's kind of coming together pro-America, right? So... But don't get me started on 9/11. I'll go into that and I'll talk for hours about it, but we won't talk about that. We're talking about football. And then, so that team wins. So that was the first time I remember thinking about it. But like I said, I don't watch the foosball. I don't like it. But this year I started noticing some things that were bugging me. That brings me back to it. And I started doing some research on the past Super Bowls and stuff like that. But I want to just basically focus on this year. Okay. So we all know this whole thing with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, right? And if you're listening on Spotify, you might notice that I started this episode off with a Taylor Swift song because I love Taylor so much. Just kidding. I'm not going to knock her music. It's good music. Okay, her music's catchy. It's good stuff. I get it. And I'm not saying the music's bad. I can't stand listening to it because it's just cheesy bullshit. It's good though. I get it. I get why people like it. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. I'm just so fucking sick of seeing Taylor Swift everywhere. There's so many other artists. There's so many other people doing great music. and it's all you see is Taylor Swift everywhere. She's every fucking where, and I'm so sick of it. I walk to work, I walk out of my apartment to go to work every day, and there's a doormat. It says, in this house we listen to Taylor's version. Give me a fucking break. I'm so everywhere I go. At work, all I hear is Taylor Swift music. I mean, they probably play 10 of her songs. I didn't really even realize they were her songs. I've heard them all the time, but I didn't even know they were Taylor Swift until like I heard them in my girlfriend's car, or my kids were talking about them. I didn't even realize it. So I hear Taylor Swift all day at work. You know, it's all everywhere you go, in your face. I can't get away from that bitch, right? She's the biggest star right now on the planet. And now she's dating this football player who's, you know, a big star in football, and Travis Kelce. And now they're together, right? So I have a few theories on this relationship, okay? And I'll get into a couple of them because I've heard a couple that I formed my own theory on one, and then I've heard a couple that I really dig. So I'll start off with one of the ones that I really thought was interesting. And I heard this from Andrew Schultz. So this isn't my opinion, this is one I heard. He was talking about how like Travis Kelce's always got like swagger. He's always like, he wants to get into like entertainment. He'll probably get into like acting or something after he finishes football. And now he's doing commercials and shit, right? He's supporting Bud Light, and he's now, of course, he's got the Two Things at Once Pfizer commercial, right? But he's like, and I'll get into that later, but he's like always wanted to kind of break into entertainment, right? And who better to date than the biggest star on the planet, right? Taylor Swift. I mean, that's your in, right? And as far as Taylor, what would she get out of dating Travis Kelce? Okay, so her music isn't really, her demographic isn't really like football fans, okay? It's like teenage girls, right? For the most part. I mean, women. Basic white women listen to Taylor Swift. And so to break into like football, what has she not done as like the biggest star in the world? What has she never done? She's never played the Super Bowl halftime show, right? And she's like the biggest star in the world. She's the person of the year, right? So now she has come into the world of football, and now everybody that watches football is talking about, oh, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, right? And now people that don't even watch football are going to watch football because Taylor's there, right? Does this make sense? So now she breaks into the world of football. She gets, you know, more people that don't know her music, that, you know, watch football, that are going to start listening to her music, are going to find out who she is. Now, watch, next year, first prediction, she's going to play the halftime show next year. Because everybody's going to watch that shit and be like, oh, Taylor's there. But that's what she wants to break into, is a different demographic. So it works for both of them. And I mean, it might be set up, it might not be, but I'm just saying, like, for both of them, there's something they can get, right? So that was Andrew Schultz's theory, and that makes a lot of sense to me, right? It's both of them get something out of it, whether they like each other or not, and whether they're just, hey, yeah, I'll date him because then I can do this, and then he'll date her. So now, and you'll see him everywhere now, which you do. I mean, nobody really knew who he was except for like a really good football player. Like, he's a star. He's good. Like, tight end is my favorite position on the football field, to be honest. I like me a tight end. Just they're like, you know, they're beasts, right? They can catch, they can run, they can block. They're just like most badass player on the field. So I've always liked tight ends. And then I remember, like, I think it was, I don't remember, but I think it was when they played in the Super Bowl the last time against the 49ers. I don't know if you guys noticed that. The last election year, the same two teams played, but I don't know if that's just them recycling a script or what. But anyway, about Kelce, like, I remember watching him in the Super Bowl going like, man, this guy's a badass, right? And now I'm just like, this guy's a fucking sellout. But he's still a great player. So anyway, that's one theory that I had about it. But I'm sorry, that I liked about it. I didn't come up with that theory, but it makes perfect sense. But the theory that I came up with is a little more sinister, a little more conspiracy, right? It's one of those tinfoil hat, right? So think about this, right? You got Taylor Swift, who again is the biggest star in the world, but she's very left-leaning, right? She's very like pro Schmeiden, and you see her with the cookies I don't know if you've seen that picture with these cookies that are supporting Schmeiden, and her politics are all left, right? Like she supports abortion, she supports like she threw a hissy fit when it came to fucking Roe v. Wade being overturned, like all that shit, right? So she's very left leaning. And then you got Kelsey, who's good looking superstar in the NFL. He's supporting Schmeiser now, right? Doing commercials for them, two things at once, right? He's doing that. He's supporting Bud Light. He's doing commercials for them. And Bud Light has become very progressive, air bunnies, and like very left leaning, you could say, right? They're trying to recover from the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing, right? So he's perfect, right? And he's, like I said, he sold his soul to the devil. Taylor sold her soul a long time ago. So putting the two of them together is perfect, right? So why would they do that? It's an election year. Now you got these two people who are supporting the left cause, the Democrat cause, and you're putting them in the face of everybody, and now everybody's going to watch the Super Bowl because Taylor Swift's going to be there. So not only that, now you can push your talking points right on everybody, right? Because all these people that normally don't watch football are going to actually go tune in to the Super Bowl. So you're going to get more viewership. Your sponsors are going to get what they want because they just want people to watch. Like I said, they want people to watch. They want more and more and more people to watch. They need to increase viewership. So you script Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce being together, and you have millions more people watching, right? You got people that don't even know anything about football that are now Chiefs fans, and they're wearing Travis Kelce jerseys just because they're Taylor Swift fans. And so now you're increasing viewership, and now you can push your left-leaning talking points on the Super Bowl, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, they can script it so that they can get more viewers. They can script it so they can push more of their agenda. It's all a matter of just paying people off. You can pay off the refs, you can pay off everybody. So why would they not, if they're setting up this relationship, why would they not have the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, right? Are you going to end their season, a couple weeks ago? No, because now you're going to have the biggest game of the year with the most viewership, and they're going to be cutting to Taylor Swift every fucking 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck does she have to do with football? Does that make sense? So that's my theory on that. It's like they set all this up because they've been like, the NFL's been bought and paid for, and I don't know if it's just the people that run the NFL or the people that, or they're just paying to make this all happen. But the NFL's been rigged, scripted, I guess you can say, for a long time, and that's why I refuse to pay attention and watch it. And if I could be wrong, it's just my opinion. I'm just a dummy from the desert. I don't know things, right? I always say that. So anyway, also, what is this thing with the number 13 with Taylor? I mean, we all know 13's like not a lucky number, and it just happens to be that that's her favorite number, and like all these things line up to the number 13 with her. I don't know a lot of them. I know like the Super Bowl is going to be on 211, which equals 13. And what about the 49ers quarterback? He's where's number 13? That wasn't planned, right? I don't know. But again, the same two teams, the last election year, same two teams played, right? And the same two people were running for president. Give me a fucking break. Is this just recycling the script? I don't know. But I do know that these are my predictions. The Chiefs are going to win because why wouldn't they, right? Taylor's there. Of course they're going to win. That's all anybody's talking about is this relationship. So, of course, the Chiefs are going to win. I mean, this is going to be a huge celebration for Taylor Swift fans everywhere. And so that's going to happen. If I was a betting man, I would put money on it, but I am not. But it's pretty much guaranteed. If you are a drinker, which I'm no longer a drinker, but if you are a drinker, best drinking game to play would be anytime they show Taylor Swift or say her name, you drink. But the problem is you probably won't make it to halftime because you'll be too drunk because they're going to show her every fucking 5 minutes. And oh, I'm so sick of fucking seeing her. I'm not watching the game because I just don't want to fucking see Taylor Swift. And again, her music is fine. If you listen to her music, I'm not knocking it. It's great. Her music's good. I just can't stand her. I can't stand her face, right? I can't stand her face. And have you guys heard this theory about Taylor where she's a clone of this like Satanist like leader from like whatever the 60s, 70s or whatever? I don't remember exactly. But she looks identical. Like they look identical. And then we got someone like Taylor who's super famous, sold her soul to the devil, and now she's this super famous person, right? So that's just another theory. But so the last thing I want to leave you guys on has to do with all this. It's something that I believe with all of what we're seeing going on, entertainment in general, whether it's movies, TV, whether it's sports, especially sports, there's an old Roman saying that, and I honestly cannot remember the name of the poet that said this, right? But it was a Roman poet from like the Roman Empire, right? And it was about the Roman Empire. It says, give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt. Okay? So what does that mean? I'll break it down. So at the time, the people were starving, like the regular Joes were starving, right? So the Roman Empire would give them bread so that they didn't starve, right? Oh, we're giving you free handouts. Don't hate us, right? So give free shit, right? So what does the government do? Welfare, right? Giving out free shit so that they won't see what they're actually doing, right? So that's that part of it. Give them bread, right? Give them free shit. Give me a phone, Obama, right? Give us bread and circuses. So what is circuses? At the time, circuses, Roman circuses didn't mean clowns and fucking elephants and shit, right? It was more of just entertainment, right? Just a form of entertainment. Look, I'm not going to get into what a Roman circus was, but just get into like go Google it, right? And that's what they did was they gave them entertainment. They gave them the gladiators. They gave them circuses. They gave them all this entertainment so that they would go and focus on that. And then they gave them free shit. They gave them bread so that they wouldn't starve, but not enough to where they were eating well, but just here's some bread. Here's just a little bit of scraps so that you don't starve, but you don't hate us for all the shit we're taking from you, for all the tyranny we're putting on you. Well, that's what our government's doing, giving us free shit, making us feel like, they're good. They're giving us free stuff, but they're actually keeping us down. And they're keeping us distracted with football, with Taylor Swift, with movie stars. The Grammys just happened, right? They're keeping us distracted with the circuses so that we don't revolt, right? So that's something I want you guys to keep in mind when we're watching a football game that's scripted. That's just a script. They're doing these things to keep us distracted, to keep us watching football, to keep us watching sports. That's why these guys make so much goddamn money, because they're a distraction so that we watch the sports, we watch the movies. We're over here doing all this stuff. What is Kim Kardashian doing today? Like, who fucking cares? But it's a distraction, right? They're keeping us distracted with what celebrities are doing or what sports stars are doing or all this other shit so that we don't see what they're doing. We're not paying attention. But you got to pay attention. And I'm not saying don't watch sports. And I know that it's disappointing to know that, hey, I'm trying to watch the sport and I want my team to win, but it's disappointing to know that they're doing this, right? But you got to live in reality. This is actually what's going down. And we have no choice. It doesn't matter who your team signs. I haven't seen it in baseball. Honestly, I mean, I really have not noticed it in baseball because you still have teams that are underdogs getting into that are small market teams that are underdogs getting into the playoffs that people don't really care to watch. And the viewership for like the World Series has been down. And I just feel like people just don't care about baseball anymore. Like that's why like nobody really watches baseball anymore. People say it's boring and it used to be America's pastime, but it's no longer the most popular sport in the United States, right? People watch football, That's what all people talk about during football season is football, football, football. It makes me sick because I don't watch football. So that's why they're pushing football. That's why they're paying off football. And it kind of sucks, but that's just reality. And I have hope that everything's going to be exposed within the next few years. It'll all be exposed because people are fucking waking up and realizing that we're in the Matrix. We're in a fucking simulation that's scripted. We're all in a movie, guys. But it's a movie because there's people with so much power that are in control. It's not Joe Biden. It's not the government. It's not the U.S. government. It's people that are behind that are controlling everything. And they're going to fall. There's no way they can sustain it with everybody starting to wake up, right? But that's really all I have on the subject. Guys, seriously, thank you for your support. If you're a 49ers fan, I'm sorry you're going to lose. It's just the way it is. It's the way the script goes. Anyway, take care, guys. Till next time. Peace.